My name is Franklin Edward Bauman. I am 54 years old. I'm going to be 55 in about 9 days. I live in Glencoe, Illinois. I'm a physician by training, and now I'm an entrepreneur. I'm involved in a couple of companies in the healthcare space. To me, the American dream, which I always took for granted when I was younger, was that I wasn't going to be stopped from doing anything because of my economic status or where I grew up or who I was or who my family was. That if I worked hard enough and I kind of figured the system out and I took the responsibility to do it, that I would have the opportunity to succeed. Now, even though I was raised by my grandmother, she managed to put me through college, which was no easy feat. To this day, I'm not quite exactly sure where she got the money from. Maybe I don't want to know. The neighborhood we lived in, we were probably on the lower end of it. I mean, we had a nice house for the neighborhood, but our income was very low. We didn't go on vacations, we didn't splurge, we didn't spend money, essentially. When I went to college, and following this education path, part of it was to get myself to a higher social economic status. I always did have somewhat of a fear of us running out of money. Especially as I got older, I had no idea how my grandmother pulled it off. I made $2.65 an hour at Pizza Hut plus tips, and that was below minimum wage at the time, but somehow we had food on the table. A lot of times it was Pizza Hut, but we had food on the table. So that, I think, has always driven me to try to be better off economically. The path I've taken has gotten me there. But again, the American dream to me was that I was left alone, essentially, to do whatever I want to do. It never occurred to me that anybody was going to take care of me. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that the government would take care of me. And I still don't think the government would take care of me, really. So I always said I have to figure this out myself because nobody else is going to figure it out for me. But that's inherent in the American dream, in my opinion, is that once you make that realization, all you got to do is hustle now. You got to figure it out. You know, I never assumed that anything was going to happen. Now, I thought that I have a higher chance of being successful in the field if I went through formal education through that field. But even that, I had a degree in physics, but I really wasn't good enough. That opportunity was there. I didn't really grab it enough to really go in that direction, so I had to pivot and do something else. Really enjoyed medicine. I did not enjoy the lifestyle, so pivoted again out of that. But the ability to do that and kind of keep reinventing yourself essentially without any limitations, is to me what the American dream is all about. I had the base of at least one person who loved me and instilled in me and supported me doing something in education. I think it was a blessing that my parents, my biological parents who were both dysfunctional, somehow recognized that I would be better off being raised by my grandmother. They just didn't have the wherewithal to do it. So if they hadn't made that decision, things might have been a lot harder for me, and I don't know if I would have been as successful. If we were homeless, I don't know if I would have been as successful. The key to the American dream is utilizing the American dream. No matter where you're starting at, you could keep moving forward.